Hey guys, Tonic here. Today I would like to show off an archer build that I've been working on for a very long time. This build puts out some extremely high damage numbers against most enemies, and when it comes to places like West Tech, I'm able to go around the entire building and one-shot every enemy inside. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to achieve this build. We're going to cover the perk cards, the mutations, also things like the best weapons that you can use, and this is going to be a bloodied build. However, I know that a lot of you do like to play with full health, so I did mess around with a full health variant of the build that is honestly pretty comparable. So in the first half of this video, I am going to show off the bloodied version of the build, and then on the second part of the video, I am going to show off the full health variant that I was able to come up with. Now, I am going to timestamp this as well, so if you are a full health player, you can just skip right to that part and you don't really have to watch the bloodied part if you don't want to. But with all of that being said, let's get into it. So first off, let's take a look at the perk cards that I am going to be using with this build, and I know perk card talk is a little bit boring, so I'm going to try and whip through this pretty quick. So we have Barbarian. This is going to allow us to get some pretty significant damage resistance from our unyielding armor as well as just from our 7 points in strength. We have Pack Rat. This is because I have a legendary strength card and just have some extra throwaway strength points. And then Bandolier. Bandolier is actually pretty essential when it comes to a bow and arrow build. So if I go to my ammo and I find my arrows, my 690 arrows weighs 3 pounds. However, if I take off the Bandolier perk card, go back to my arrows, they weigh 35 pounds. So Bandolier is absolutely essential when you're running around with a bow and arrow, just because they weigh so much. Then over here we have Concentrated Fire for VATS, Archer, Expert Archer, and Master Archer just for some nice damage. We also have Bow Before Me. This is going to give us a chance to ignore some armor as well as stagger the enemies. Then we have Ironclad just because we're not wearing any power armor. Tenderizer is super helpful. Nerd Rage, this is mainly for the bloodied build, and this is going to give us some more damage resistance as well as plus 20% damage and 15% AP regen. Then we have Gunsmith. This is just going to help him break slower. We have Action Girl, Covert Operative, Sneak, Escape Artist, Gung Fu, Adrenaline. Then over in Luck we have a lot of damage cards, so we have Bloodied Mess, we have Better Criticals, Serendipity, Class Freak, Starch Jeans, and Crit Savvy. And these ones, like Serendipity, this is mainly for the bloodied build. If you are going to be running the full health version, you can switch a few of these out and get some better damage perk cards or even some more quality of life things, but these are pretty much essential for any bloodied build. And for the legendary perks, I have Follow Through, Master Infiltrator, Legendary Strength, and Luck. I also have Legendary Intelligence and Funky Duds. And then as far as the mutations that I am going to be using, we are going to be running Adrenal Reaction, Bird Bones, Eagle Eyes, Egghead, Marsupial, and Speed Demon. And Eagle Eyes is super nice to have with this bow and arrow build because of the perception bonus as well as that crit damage bonus. It is really nice to get some huge criticals with these bow and arrows because you can push some pretty significant damage numbers with this. And then going over to the weapons, I am running with a Bloodied Compound Bow with crits doing 50% more damage as well as some perception, and I'm running it with glow sights and plasma arrows. Now, you can switch this out for maybe some flaming arrows if you like them more, and you also can do the explosive arrows or even the ultra sight arrows, but as far as raw damage goes, I really do like the plasma arrows, and I think that these are going to be the best just for raw damage output. And then lastly, my armor, it's nothing really too amazing, but it's not bad. I have a full set of Unyielding Secret Service, but it's not really matching, so like this chest piece isn't really the best. And some of them are 2 stars, like this is a 2-star and this is a 2-star. So I don't have the best possible armor, so you could even get some better armor and make this build better, but for this it does just fine. So if I go over here to the Super Mutant Behemoth, we can test out the damage on this. So we're going to want to go for the head. First shot, 777. The second shot is over 1,000, and then the third shot should be a critical. So 2,026. So 3 arrows takes down a behemoth. Very solid, and I'm still pleasantly surprised with how this build is running. So I've been using the bloodied variant of this build for the past maybe 3 to 4 months, and it is awesome. I feel like Legolas from Lord of the Rings just running around slinging arrows. It is actually pretty solid for XP farming as well. Like during the double XP weekend, I went into West Tech a lot, and I was just going around with the bow and arrow, just one-shotting everything. And then I could even pick up the arrows off dead bodies and go and reuse them to go get another kill. So the ammo cost is very low, it's very easy to stay in stealth mode, and the damage output is just wild. It is really cool to be able just to one-shot almost every everything that you come across. However, the main issue with this build that I came across was boss enemies. I noticed in daily ops that it struggled against final bosses, as well as with big event bosses like the Queen and Earl. It still does great damage, and with the group it's still not hard to complete. However, if you are trying to solo these events, it is super hard because the rate of fire is so slow, and a lot of the time you are detected in daily ops and things like that, so the whole stealth element's kind of gone and you just have to run around and jump and try and hide from damage. So against bosses it's not really the best build, but as far as just your normal enemies that you encounter go, it is absolutely phenomenal, and I think you would really enjoy trying this one out. But with all that being said, let's move on to the full health version of this build. This is going to be the full health version of the build, and this is going to be very similar in a lot of ways and also very different, where there's going to be no bloodied perk cards for this one. So we're going to start off with Bandolier because, again, like I showed earlier, ammos weigh a ton, so you really need this card. We also do have Strong Back, Barbarian, and Pack Rat. These are all just going to be from my legendary perk cards, so if you don't have the legendary strength perk card, you won't be needing these. And then going over to Perception, we have Concentrated Fire, Archer, Expert Archer, Master Archer, and Bow for me. Then we have Fireproof and Revenant. Then over here we have Strange in Numbers and Tenderizer. In Intelligence we have Gunsmith and First Aid. And then in Agility we have Covert Operative, Action Girl, Mr. Sandman, Sneak, Escape Artist, Gung Fu, as well as Adrenaline. Then over in Luck we have Bloodied Mess, Better Criticals, Class Freak, Starched Jeans, Crit Savvy, and Grim Reaper Sprint. Now for the legendary perks, they're going to be pretty much the same. I have Follow Through, Master Infiltrator, Legendary Strength, Legendary Luck, Legendary Intelligence, as well as Funky Duds. And then as far as my weapons go, this is actually only going to be a 2-star bow that I'm using. This is going to be a VATS Crit Anti-Armor bow, and this thing is amazing. I really like this bow. It has the same setup as before with the glow sights and plasma arrows. And then as far as my armor goes, I'm not usually a full health build, so I don't have the best full health armor, but I am going to be running some different legendary covert scout pieces. I have things like cloaking, some weightless, some vanguards. All of them have some pretty decent perks with them, and the reason I chose a full set of covert scout is just because it is going to give you improved stealth in dark areas, so where you don't have the best agility like a bloodied build, you still can get that extra nice sneaking bonus. With all the perk cards and things out of the way, let's actually take it into West Tech here and try it out. Now, I do not have Revenant active. I could down myself and get myself back up, but I really don't see the need for it unless you are fighting a bigger boss, because against these super mutants, this still will one-shot most of them. So we got 130 right there, or sorry, 830. And over here we got 848. Against this 100 Hound, it actually did not die on the first shot, but I don't think I had a full draw. So let's go try and find another Hound and get a better draw. Over 900 right there. So in here there should be a Hound. Yeah, so a full draw will kill it. I just didn't pull it back far enough or hold it for long enough. Let's get a crit on this one. So 1,518. Still very good for being a full health build. And so I am going to head into the next part of West Tech here, and I would like to show you another legendary effect that you can utilize if you do not have access to an anti-armor bow. This is going to be the Instigating effect. This gives you double damage if the target is full health, plus it is VATS crits just like the other two, and this bow performs very well. So let's hop into this terminal, get in there and check this thing out. So here we have our very first super mutant. He's going to be a level 60, and again an instant kill. So let's go up here, another instant kill. So the damage is just amazing on this bow, and these aren't even going to be crits yet. We'll hit a crit on this Hound, over 1,000 damage. So you can see that the Instigating effect is very useful with these types of weapons. So just like the Bloodied build, I tested it on the Super Mutant Behemoth. It took 3 arrows to take it down. So let's test this with the full health build. First shot is going to do 700, and the next shot is going to be a crit for 1,793, then the third shot for 1,260, and one more just to finish him off. So 4 arrows. It really could have been 3 maybe if I was able to utilize another crit there, and even if I just had some chems I probably could have pushed it over, but still 4 arrows for a Super Mutant Behemoth is really not that bad. Now, out of the 2 of these builds, I definitely personally prefer the Bloodied build. However, I usually play as a Bloodied build most of the time, so I'm more used to that playstyle. But that being said, the full health build honestly was performing a lot better when I did daily ops as well as big events like the Queen and Earl, just because you had a lot more health, so when you were detected, it wasn't as big of a deal as when you're a Bloodied build and you get detected and just get smacked right away. So they both definitely do have their pros and cons, but it's really up to you with how you'd like to play the game. But that is pretty much going to be it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a ton of fun putting this build together over the past few months. It has just been awesome. I really do enjoy this build. I like trying to lead the targets with the arrows. I like aiming above the heads, hitting some really nice across the town trick shots. It is super fun, and I again highly recommend you to try it out. So I do want to say thank you all for watching, and as always, a massive thank you to all of the channel members: Yosevated, Leo Derby, She, Stealthasecto, Networkgate, Golty, Indica, Robert Kennard, Wandering Wastelander, Esdeath93, Lanthar, Anna Reestes, Fallout McFly, Captain Awesome, Citizen Girl, Chad of Fallout 76 Podcast, Heather Henderson, Patrick Ruda, 23 Icefire, Jay Smith, Argent Deer, Browser Double Frang, Ice Cream Manny, Chris Decker, Theodore, Digital Aardvark, Lone Samurai OG, Diathin Gaming, Christy Mellon Schwitz. You guys are amazing. I love you guys, and have a great day.